Playing Cypher in set 14 is one of the riskiest but most rewarding ways to win your games. So in this video we'll be explaining how to actually play it and going over the best cash outs, augments, comps to play into and more. So when should you play Cypher? Well, honestly, as often as you can really, and once you know what you're doing after watching this video, you'll be chasing those Cypher units as early as possible. If you have the chance to get Cypher in super early on, you'll be able to start stacking it up during stage 2, and by the end of stage 3 into stage 4, when you most commonly end up cashing it in, you'll have a nice juicy cash out and be on course for some easy LP. There's some other times you can play it too though, even if you don't find the Cypher units really early. For example, if you're playing towards fast 8 boards and struggling to really build any momentum, you can throw in a Cypher Comp during stage 3, as if you're going to lose anyway, you might as well get a little bit extra out of it along the way. Then depending on your cash out returns, the extra resources may give you an edge over other players. You can also look out for certain hacks to help you play Cypher too, like the early HP orbs from the PvE rounds, or even lucky shops can help you activate 5 Cypher sooner, and if your cash out allows for it, play towards those 3-star carries in Draven and Galio. Now before we do get into the cash outs and their rewards, let's also quickly mention how augments can help you win with Cypher too. Titanic Titan is going to be one of the best options as it gives you extra health, which is a big deal, and those extra rounds you lose will give you an even bigger cash out. Then we have other lose streaking augments like Calculated Loss for example, as if we're going to be lose streaking anyway, we'll get extra benefits along the way like gold and rerolls, which are going to make us even stronger when we cash out and build our board. There's also the Last Stand augment, which basically gives us a second chance at life and puts us to 1 health and buffs our board up instead of knocking us out. This one can be amazing if you time it right, as you'll spike insanely hard and get the extra life for more stacks. Finally, there's also a unique specific augment for Cypher called Hostile Takeover. This gives you the majority of your stack through kills over losses, so you can take this if you have a strong opener with Cypher units, and you can actually slam good items and play to win rounds instead. This shifts the playstyle of Cypher completely, but can be really fun and extremely rewarding. Now let's get on to the fun part, the different Cypher cash outs and all that they offer. So anything less than 250 is basically just going to be a little boost to our game. There's anything here ranging from extra units, a bit of gold, some items, duplicators or reforgers, and all of which will help you out in a ton of different comps, not really usually limiting you to anything specific. Then at 250 and above there is a lot more potential. The 250 cash out can give us 4 duplicators, which can help out when playing towards any version of a reroll comp, or it might give us a bunch of 4 costs to help give us some direction into what comp we can play into. It can also cash us out with a load of Dr. Mundos and Alistairs and a frying pan, which helps lean into a bruiser comp, or whatever version we can use a frying pan to our benefit. For fast 8 games, a 290 cash out is a really good aim to go for. This gives us a 25% chance of getting a Radiant item or a Masterwork Anvil or an Artifact item or a Champion Duplicator. These are all really flexible cash outs for all sorts of fast 8 comps, so cashing this out at 3-7 just before we start rolling in stage 4 is the perfect and safest way to add extra value to our comps. Now for higher end cash outs, the rewards simply just get better and better. The only thing is, some may not quite give you the units or options that really benefit your specific comp, and that's where the higher you go, the more flexible you will have to be. The potential ceiling does get super high, but so does the level of dizziness you may experience too. The rewards range from 4 or 5 cost units, spatulas and pans, artifact items with reforgers, a bunch of thieves gloves, tons of gold, tons of emblems, tons more duplicators, or even at the max 1000 intel cash outs. You can instantly get a prismatic trait like 10 Anima Street or Exotech, or a 3-star 5 cost, or a bunch of Radiants and 2-star 5 costs. But to be honest, if you get to 1000, you've already won the game anyway. So that's a taste of the cash outs, and to recap, we ideally want to aim for a minimum 250 for any reroll comps or 290 for any fast 8 or just flexible boards really. Anything above 290 is obviously just going to get better, but to achieve higher cash outs you'll need those augments or hacks or factors like getting 4 or 5 ciphering during stage 3 to really have a good chance of pulling them off properly. So now let's have a look at lose streaking and how to actually play Cypher throughout the early to mid game before you do cash out. Typically, the higher rank you go, the more players will look towards lose streaking, which means playing weaker boards or even opening their board by selling everything in an attempt to force their lose streak, and at the same time grief Cypher players too. So this means the first thing you need to do when you want to play Cypher is scout your lobby. This is incredibly important as it can show you how weak you actually need to be during PvP rounds to guarantee you stay on your loss streak. Now if everyone is just playing strong boards and slamming all their items, you won't have to worry as much, but if other players are loose streaking too and are just weak, you're going to have to judge how weak you need to be to make sure you lose. And this sometimes does mean you might end up losing a lot of health along the way if you're just simply failing to kill any units. When scouting, you'll also want to make sure you check out for other Cypher players too and see if you're going to be weaker than them as well. So make sure you're checking who you're likely to come up against and keep that loss streak on the go. During stage 2, we'd recommend that you don't really want to upgrade any of your units, even things like Vale or LeBlanc, and avoid slamming any items too, because this will increase your chance of beating other loose streaking players. Then there's also positioning and trapping, which we can use to our advantage as well. Now trapping units can really help you keep your loose streak going. Let's say for example you have Vi, LeBlanc and Draven during stage 2 for 3 Cypher. If you place Vi in the bottom right corner with Draven and LeBlanc next to her, she'll actually be locked into the corner and won't be able to fight until one of your other units dies first. Another simple thing you can do is just frontline your ranged units like LeBlanc and Draven, which will make them die faster and ensure you keep your loss streak going. The hardest board to play against when playing Cypher is when the players simply open by selling their whole board in an attempt to grief you. Unfortunately here, the only thing you can really do is put your hands together, close your eyes and pray you don't fight them. So before we get onto what comps to play after you cash out, let's quickly cover when you should. Now first up, the most common rounds to cash out are those that we mentioned earlier, stage 3-7 or 4-3. If you have augments or hacks for extra health and have a few extra lives ahead of you, you can push for 4-3 for a bigger cash out. That's if you are confident enough that when you do press cash out, you can get your comp online quickly. If you want to play it safe, just go for the 3-7 option, see what your options are, and then roll and build your board during early stage 4. If you want to be really greedy, you can even push to 4-7 to cash out here, but the later you go, it is going to start getting insanely risky. Plus, by this point, many comps from other players will already be active and start spiking, so you might struggle if your cash out rewards aren't the ones you wanted. The only thing we haven't really mentioned is what happens if you win a random round against someone else that's playing to lose streak, and if you do win during stage 3, we'd advise to consider cashing out early and use that extra bonus for tempo instead, as continuing to lose health on the cash out isn't really going to be worth it, it's just not likely to be a good idea. The 5-5 cash out isn't really as popular as it's really difficult to play into this even if you have Cypher in early, as it's unlikely you'll have the health to really go for it. Okay, so you've smashed the early game, you've built up your Cypher bonus, and now you're cashing out. So what comps can you actually play into? Well, it's genuinely impossible to say for sure, as every spot is different with a variety of items and augments, and those cash out options can give you different directions too. But let's go into some of the most common and strongest options that we would advise. First up, we have the traditional Cypher board, which uses all 5 Cypher units with the goal of hitting 3-star Draven and Galio and a 2-star Zed. This comp can be super strong because Draven and Zed can combine to simply obliterate backlines whilst your Galio and Sejuani tank everything in front. There's a massive variety of really useful cash outs for this one, like the duplicators at 250, or one of the best ones here is the 500 intel, which can give ideal emblems, perfect Draven items in the form of Radiant IE and Shojin and Ludens, or even just tons of item anvils or gold. The 550 cash out can also give even more duplicators and a crown, or a 4-star Vi and 3-star LeBlanc amongst other Radiant items. Then there's also the 600 cash out, which can literally give you instantly a 3-star Draven and Galio. So yeah, you can see how amazing this 5 Cypher comp can be with the right cash outs. For other comps, one amazing option for a variety of cash outs will be 7 Exotech. So if you have the right Exotech items, you can see this at the start, and you can always pivot into this one once you have cashed out. This comp can use a mixture of the units so the transition feels relatively smooth and caps out really high at higher levels. The AMP Strategist comp with Yuumi, Annie and Samira is also fantastic with Cypher, as it's a very expensive board that really heavily spikes at levels 8 and 9. So those extra rewards from the Cypher cash outs can help you complete this board easier, and if you do get a 2-star Samira, this is a fantastic comp to play into. Aside from these examples, you can also lean into any fast day uncontested comp, so things like Marksman Vanguards, Dynamo MF, Aurora and Zac, or Street Demons too. So there's a lot of options, and it just depends on what items you have, what cash outs you get, what comps are contested already, and how confident you are at switching it up based on what the game gives you. Finally, if you do get specific unit cash outs like the 250 Dr. Mundos and Alistairs with a pan, you can of course go into bruisers. The 330 Techie cash out leans obviously towards Techie comps, or the 600 cash out with a 2-star Ziggs and Kabuko alongside his best items can be a free win in Strategist or Street Demon comps. Well, that's going to bring us to the end of our video about how to actually play Cypher in set 14. It can be a very intimidating trait to play, especially for newer players, but once you get the hang of it, it can catapult your LP, as the rewards can just be absolutely bonkers if you pull it off. So hopefully after watching this video, the next time you try it, you'll be rewarded with LP. Thanks for watching guys, make sure to check out our team comps over on our website where you can see our Cypher comp there along with all the other comps you can cash into based on what you get offered. You can use our overlay to help you switch between comps, so let's say you get given the Ziggs and Kabuko cash out, you can then select that comp in our overlay and when you're rolling down you'll see the highlight feature in good use too, reminding you which units you need to pick up. We've also got video guides on our app and on our website for all of the strongest S tier comps with each and every patch, so don't miss out. Let us know in the comments below what kind of TFT content you want to see from us next, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take care guys.